So we just watched Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Fueled by his restored faith in humanity, inspired by Superman's selfless act, Bruce Wayne enlists newfound ally Diana Prince to face an even greater threat. Together, Batman and Wonder Woman work quickly to recruit a team.
We've seen the original.
Yeah.
Someone's hammering.
What I do in my private time is none of your business.
So we've both seen Justice League, and I guess it's important to say this is really, in essence, a director's cut. It's not a completely... People are saying it's a completely different movie. I just think it's just the proper movie.
I think it's the movie he would have made, regardless of studio intervention. The studio would have cut an hour and a bit off of it. It's been like, nah, this is fine. Whereas now he's been like, no, it's going on a streaming service. We can add whatever I wanted in the first place. This is like his wet dream of Justice League. You know what I mean?
But it's important to say that it's the same plot. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like the studio came in and didn't like the story, so they changed it. It is the same story. Just everything else about it is different.
It's the same car with a different coat of paint, essentially.
So, what did you think of Justice League? And what did you think of Justice League?
Well, Whedon has so many funny elements. Is this joke dead yet? No. Is Joss Whedon dead yet? No, he made Firefly.
What's your favourite meme? What's your favourite meme from Justice League?
The fact Joss Whedon's in it. Just touching the cast.
I wish Justice League was 4x3 so we could say that they cropped out him.
Things happening in the background.
Caressing.
Oh no, Joss, why?
Did you like Justice League? Did you see it in cinemas?
Yeah, I saw it with you. I saw it for free. It's one of those films, it is like a car crash you watch it and it's like, how did this get made? But like in the cinema, I was like, this is an absolute meme and I'm loving every second.
Yeah.
Whereas like it didn't feel like a film, it felt like a cartoon, but like in the sense of like those crappy cartoons that have like half a season and then the studio just like, you know what?
They cut out the ending and everything.
He's really dead, isn't he? Superman.
It's just the phone footage at the beginning. Just from there, I was like, this is incredible.
The difference of openings.
I know. The first shot of this one is him getting impaled.
You've got like the PG-13 version, him on the phone, and then you go to R-rated.
Imagine they open the movie, right, and it's the phone footage of that.
Just two little kids like, no, Superman. As he's screaming, like the sound wave hits the phone, smash it, goes into his eyes.
That'd be brilliant. See, we're making a third version now. Release our cut.
The WMM cut.
Yes, we'll do a cut of Justice League where it's just ruined. Like, we'll colour grade it terribly.
No, we won't colour grade. We'll take it all off.
Just the
raw footage, baby.
It's grey. Everything's grey.
No CGI, just mocap suits.
And we use like actual behind the scenes footage as clips.
Somebody dragging away Joss off set.
Here's the thing though, a lot of people did like Justice League, and I'm wondering what they think of. Right, we'll just call it Justice League and Justice League. So Justice League, a lot of people did like it.
I have a feeling a majority of the audience are going to sit there and go like, it is too long. No. Or if they're going to watch it, they're going to watch it in like multiple segments over a long period of time.
Yes, that's why I think the chapter format helps a lot. I suppose we should go into that, really. Well, so first of all, the actual experience of watching it before we talk about it.
It felt like an event to me.
I agree. Yeah.
It was one of those things where I was like, this sounds so bad, but like, you will understand what I mean. It feels like a moment of like nerdy history. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, it's like, I imagine it's like the same feeling when the fans of Blade Runner got the final cut.
Yes.
It felt like that for me. It's like, obviously he's been fighting for this for ages, and so many other fans. I'd say me too, but I haven't done anything. But like, the fact that we finally get to watch it now, I don't know if that boosts my like opinion of it because we got it like that. But the fact that we could sit there and finally watch the damn thing after, because it came out 2018.
17. It was November 17.
Holy Christ. Sigh.
That's the thing, yeah, I agree. Like, I gave it 5 stars, and I gave it 5 stars more from my experience with it than the actual movie.
100%. Because the way I saw it was like, I'd have to specify I watched this at like 6 in the morning, so if I'm a bit loopy, that's why. But like, the way I felt is like, if you want to watch a shorter film, watch the Whedon one. This is like, if you really want to see what was supposed to be, you watch this. And obviously the chapters easily break it up, so like there's a whole...
Yeah, the chapters format.
Absolutely, so
helps.
the screen goes black, pause it, come back another day.
Exactly.
It makes it so easy.
I was thinking about this specifically, the difference between... First of all, I got really excited when that card came up, because I was thinking, what's the first shot going to be of the next chapter? I was like, how are they going to start this?
Mm-hmm.
But also, like, specifically, the last shot of the final bit where they're all standing together and the fox thing appears, the flying fox, and then it cuts to black and it's like epilogue. I was like, oh my god, what's it going to be? And then it's like Cyborg sitting at the table, quite like this, and he's doing his hand thing. And I was like, I don't think that would have worked if it just cut from that to that.
100%.
And that's what made us think about the way the entire thing is formatted. Like, it couldn't be formatted with just 4 hours straight.
It was 100% edited with this in mind.
Exactly.
So that's why you could tell they were thinking maybe we should release this as mini episodes.
Okay, so we've done like a general review, which is good. It's always good to just get our feelings, our thoughts out there. And now it's going to get sweaty.
You're not sweaty already.
We do have these goddamn lights now. We've got a budget now. There it is.
It's like a 1% higher budget, 1% from 0 is still 0.
Yeah, if we turn the lights up, it might feel more budgety.
But then I won't look ginger enough for the shot, you know what I'm saying?
You need the colour contrast. I'm going to break it down in terms of characters and not chapters, because we can't remember when everything happened. And it's 4 hours, we can't just go back and watch it.
See, I couldn't see half the film because I was watching it like this, so...
That's fair enough then.
Yeah.
So you can talk about the audio quality. And
I've got tinnitus, so no, I can't.
It's true. It's true.
Oh, Christ.
So we're starting with Batman. We're going to talk about these characters by characters.
Yes.
And we want to start with Batman because he is the...
He's Batman.
He's Batman, that's basically it. Clicks.
Basic.
Yeah.
He works for Alfred.
He does work for Alfred. We really liked him in BVS. I think that's an understatement.
I mean, it's definitely an understatement for me and a lot of people. Like,
Yeah.
obviously everybody loved Christian Bale when that was a thing.
Yeah.
But when people saw BVS, a lot of the like fan opinion was like, heck darn baby, we need this all up in.
There's been talks about the whole he kills, he's brutal. I don't care. I think he's the best part of the movie, BVS.
The thing is, it's a film. They're not trying to say this is the definitive Batman. They're not trying to say this is the definitive Superman. It's like this is obviously now.
It's an Elseworlds thing.
It's an Elseworlds thing. Just like the MCU isn't Marvel. That's
Yes.
the cinematic universe. I can't remember what it's called. Like, because obviously you've got the main one, which is comics, which is 616.
Oh god. What do they call it in Marvel?
But that's Marvel. This is DC. Like, this is
DC. It's Elseworlds.
Yeah, this is like their universe. This is now it's 100% Zack Snyder's universe with his characters. And then
Even I noticed even just the like Cyborg looks out the window and he sees some kids playing.
Yeah.
I was like, this isn't modern day. Like, it might be, but it doesn't feel
It's
it.
like Batman the Animated Series in the sense of it's like it's got 1930s elements and 1950s
Yes.
elements, but it's like it's their
Very
version of modern day.
timeless.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it's once again it's just this aesthetic that he has with this like genre.
Exactly. Yeah. And yeah, so we liked BVS because of Ben Affleck gets to punch
because
people.
of Batfleck. Yeah,
He punches people really hard.
this is a light-hearted Batman in terms of the Zack Snyder universe done right. Like, obviously I made a joke earlier, the whole restored faith in humanity, but like he's talking about faith. He's more hopeful than he's ever been.
And it's nice to see, we've had the brooding killing machine, and now he's not raised up to like something's definitely bleeding, or like I can't even think
He's
of any
not a
other
meme,
jokes.
he's a person.
Yeah, it's a very human way of like lightening up a
He's
bit.
still brooding. He's still got elements of darkness in him. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, because I can't remember the context of the conversation, but when he's like something darker, something's coming. He seems genuinely terrified that he might have already messed up, and obviously throughout the whole thing, he's really trying to
kill himself.
I'm
not on about Ben Affleck. I'm sorry.
I thought you were talking about his alcoholism, to be honest.
God, but he did some things to him, man.
But in the actual, like, everything he's doing is to try and commandeer for what he did to Superman.
Yeah.
He got him killed. And obviously the whole Martha thing, but thank God that's never brought up. I've always liked Ben Affleck as Batman. I think he was the best part of BVS. And he's not the best part of this, but he's just...
I'll always have a bias for Batfleck. So, like, obviously for me he is, but I understand why you think differently. I love a big war.
He's not my favourite Batman. I still say Michael Keaton, but...
I will fight you.
Well, imagine if they fought. I think we know who'd win.
I don't think Keaton would even, like, get out of his Batmobile before
he wouldn't be able to lift his arm up. He'd be like...
Well, he'd be like, hello there.
We'd do the dramatic turnaround just to be... You could pick Keaton up by the neck and nothing would move. It would just be a still...
Well, no, the cowl would just rip off, wouldn't it? The rubber thing just...
The thing is, it's just... This version of Batman's in a much more interesting part of his life where he's already lost
100%.
everything and he's trying to get back. And, like, it's just a much more interesting story. And obviously the way that Justice League handled it was just sort of like... Snap.
It was like Saturday cartoon for the 4-year-old.
Yeah, they looked at, and especially with the music, they used the Batman 89 theme.
Yeah.
They were thinking more of like the legacy of like, they wanted to show the definitive version of every character.
Absolutely.
Whereas
I
none
agree.
of them were ever in the definitive character like
Jason
status.
Momoa is clearly his Aquaman, not a Aquaman. You know what I mean? Like he's not even like the 90s version with like the missing hand. Like he is his very own person, trying to make him like the dude in all orange on a little seahorse with his little trident going like fishing. You know, he's not that. He's literally gonna have 2 boos, and like once he's finished with them, he's gonna smack them over the head, and then he's just gonna go back in the water and have some fun time. That's all he like.
That's why it's quite funny to watch like the Justice League where they're all in like these heavy metal outfits. Yeah, I describe it as like a rock album. They all look like big boy band.
It's like that period in the 90s when everybody had pouches and black leather.
Yeah,
and I just
this is just Snyder's thing.
Snyder,
give them goggles.
100%. He loves his characters with goggles now, doesn't he?
Even all the parademons have goggles. Do you have any closing thoughts about Batman?
Would be here all day.
I'll cut it there. I don't think we need to even talk about Wonder Woman for that much, really.
Wow, you actually misogynist in this month as well.
Much to say, except she can kill people.
International Women's Month. You're like, oh, there's nothing to say. No.
Her theme returns in all its glory.
For one scene?
A few. I remember it a few times. I was like, oh, yes.
See, I don't know if you liked it or not, but I absolutely love the Amazonian theme. Obviously, it's not as good as like the...
But it's also there.
But it's there too. But I love the style of the...
I liked it. I really liked it. The problem, like, by the end, I was like, is this the only music they had? It occurred a few too many times.
Well, the thing is, obviously, the Amazonians come back a whole load. It's their style is so distinctive because there's not many like vocal aesthetics. Yeah, there's not many like vocal like soundtracks in that, so you hear that one and it stands out because there's vocals in it, whereas many others they don't.
Yeah, a lot of the rest of the soundtrack is ambient stuff.
You don't hear like techno screamo for like Cyborg, you know what I mean?
Exactly. Thank God there's no dubstep for Cyborg.
If it was made 6 years ago, it would have.
If it was a Marvel movie, it would have. Possibly.
But so would Wonder Woman.
What was the movie they added dubstep to for no reason? Oh, I'm thinking of The Mandalorian. When the Dark Troopers have dubstep.
Well, it's because they're mechanical.
Yeah, so is Cyborg. But he didn't get it, thank God. While we're on the topic of the music, there's a lot of it. I was thinking, after I heard the for like a little bit more.
Yeah, that one.
I was like, for a 4-hour movie, they're really using the music to keep you connected. Like, I think it was used very well.
This is like somebody going, right, obviously this is slightly disjointed in the fact of like everything's just everywhere. It's just like somebody's literally went on a page and went.
This must have been a nightmare to score.
The editing room would have been hell. Like, just looking at it, just
imagine editing for 4 hours.
I'm just imagining a full editing suite of people panic.
It takes me like a whole day to edit a 4-minute short film. Never mind 4 hours.
I just imagine it was hell. So they're sitting there like, how do we make the audience, who 99% of us are dumb as heck.
Yes.
I'm talking about me, not you, me, but also you, but also me. We're all dumb. So like, we need to be connected. We need to be connected to the film somewhat. So like, the themes are just the simplest way to do it. So the Amazonian theme, you know which section you're in immediately. Batman's just...
It's okay. The BVS one's better.
Yeah.
I had to actually look up what Batman's score was in this to see what they changed.
Honestly, Wonder Woman's just stand out the most.
Oh, obviously. I like just the main Justice League theme. I like that.
Yeah.
The orchestra. I thought that was great.
Obviously, as it's Zack Snyder, there's like interesting choices of like actual like licensed music.
Oh yes, of course, yes. I couldn't tell you any of them, but I know there's a lot of songs in it.
There's a lot of like, obviously I thought it was just the thing they were going for Watchmen, because it's not in something like 300. I think it's in Sucker Punch, but like this, it's like it's definitely one of a part of his genres. And then obviously he does the same with his trailers dedicated to his daughter and stuff like that.
Oh, of course. Yeah. God, I was so happy when they brought back Man of Steel's.
And like when they brought it back, it was like for his first flight, like his first like genuine flight.
And they used it in the finale fight as well, and they added like
it was like a crescendo, like finally.
Yes, and they also used Junkie XL's like remix of it. It wasn't actually just the main theme.
Well, it's because he's different now, so the theme has to fit his different.
Well, it's got like the rock undertones now. It's got the electric guitar, so it now sounds like he's part of it. They kind of like steered.
He's not just his own; he's a part with them, so it like fits there. Like,
because look at Batman vs Superman. Junkie XL did Batman. Hans Zimmer did Superman.
Yes.
Now Junkie XL's doing both of them as if he's been integrated in.
Yeah.
And it's just, it works so well. I was listening to just the Man of Steel bits this morning, just to see what they changed. I was like, oh, I'm listening to this from now on, like over the original.
I still don't think the black suit fits.
No. Well, should we briefly talk about Superman?
Yeah.
We'll talk about him now instead of later. Because I don't think he fit at all, and I'm gonna.
I do think he fit, but it's like, right. So his rebirth is a lighter heart version, and he's walked down the corridor and he sees all the lighter suits, and he sees the black suit, and he's like, I'm a happier guy.
But he looks at it going,
I'm gonna pick the emo suit, and it's
obvious. Yeah, there is no mention of it being a Kryptonian healing suit.
Because it isn't. It's just a black suit.
It is just a black suit.
In the 90s comics, obviously, most people know that like it's the reason why it's black is because it absorbs more sun. That's like that was their excuse.
I guess it's a way of visually showing that he's not Superman again.
Yeah, but then you'd have you'd do it a different way.
There isn't an in-character reason for him to do it. Like but we get it.
Yeah, maybe he should. Like, obviously, they're trying to give a more hopeful Superman because that's what people wanted. Then why give him the black suit? Obviously, we all want the black suit. Looks dope. Like, don't get us wrong. Like, I love it.
Yeah.
But like, in terms, this is such a nitpick for the otherwise perfect story, in my opinion. It is just like he's went down the room. He's a lighter dude. He's a brighter guy, and he just went, nah, the blue's a bit much. I'm gonna go with the darkest suit here. Look the most aggressive.
They probably just did it because it's the comics version,
and also because Zack Snyder will 100% love that suit.
Here's the thing I don't get. You know when they're like, oh, we fought for him to have a mullet, but he couldn't have the mullet. We fought for him to have the black suit, so we filmed it in the blue and desaturated after. The cape is CGI, so why didn't you just remove the cape?
That makes the shots more dynamic. You film with the cape in mind, so like you can tell when they filmed the shots in mind, so you can see it flowing and stuff.
Yeah.
It's it makes this shot a lot more cinematic. If you just have him like floating across the screen, it looks like it's such a static, like cheap shot.
Oh, I know what you mean. Well, like Zod did at 100%. The end of Man of Steel. But he doesn't get the blue and red suit by the end, because even when he does the thing,
it's still black.
It's still black, and I was surprised by that. I thought they were going to go back, but obviously it showed there was more to.
He's still in his phase, you know. He's still getting back.
I still just thought the whole like just random decision of like, oh, this mother box can bring people back. We should bring back Superman.
They explained it in a way that kind of made sense. So it was just like retransmitting matter.
Yeah.
It wasn't just like the mother box is a create engine.
The explanation was so much more. like
Well,
understandable.
that's what this film is. It's so much more context in every single aspect. There's so many scenes where you like this somewhat didn't make sense unless you had to like think about write it down in the Justice League. Whereas in this, like you just see it all.
I was just happy to see like some shots I'd seen in the trailer actually pay off. Like I say, the shot I was saying before when Flash is like he like twitches and you see him go boom boom boom.
Yeah.
Like seeing what he was actually doing during that is just like when he's zipping around in the air helping them all. I was like, oh my god,
He smashes stuff.
Well, we've moved excellently on to Flash then. What did you think of Ezra Miller now that we've seen his true performance?
It's true, right? The only scene I probably don't like in this film is the dog scene.
Yes, that felt exactly like a Justice
But like,
League
I think
thing.
that's just because I'm not a fan of the character type. I think that's simply it.
Yeah,
He,
he doesn't fit with the rest.
the way I think that's on purpose though. That's the thing. The way the Ezra Miller does this character perfectly, I just don't think I like that character.
Fair. Yeah, I mean that's the thing. The character's so like you couldn't change the way you write him.
He's
he
so
has to be.
in your face, and he has to be that way.
Exactly.
It's a character, obviously, because I'm not a good writer at all. I wouldn't write that type of character,
No.
but like, I'm not like hating on Ezra Miller because I think the way he did it is like, he did it perfectly, like that type of character. It's just that's just not something I was jiving with.
And especially like you can tell it's on purpose because there's the bit where when he meets Wonder Woman.
Yeah,
And he's like, oh, it's the bat signal. And then he goes off. And then Bruce looks and is like, yeah.
there is
like,
something
they know
there is
he's a
something
bit
I like with
much.
the Snyder Cut though, is that people like Ezra Miller's Flash. He's got a lot more human elements to him.
Oh, thank God. Oh, yeah.
Like, so when Cyborg first loses his dad, he's the first person to notice, and he's like the way like this, he breaks not out of character, but like out of this like box of like using humor to like defend himself.
Yeah,
type
it's
of
almost
thing.
like
he
at
becomes-
moments he gets it.
He becomes Barry, like he becomes not
Yes.
like this quippy person, and like his whole cadence changes, his whole voice changes.
Yeah, I quite liked...
Him and Aquaman both do that, and I love that.
Aquaman's got some good stuff going
Like
on.
when they like with this version of the Justice League, they're a lot more connected with each other, whereas like in
They really are all outcasts that depend on each other, and you feel that.
Whereas in
all the
Justice
time.
League, they're all outcasts, but they're forced together, but they don't want to be together until the very end for no reason whatsoever.
I think the thing is with Justice League, with Flash specifically, is that all of his jokes were like reshoots.
Yes.
So it felt like the character was just switching straight to a humour. Whereas in this, even when he's talking to his dad and it's like a serious scene, he makes jokes and stuff, and you feel it more. Like that is the character.
This is also
Still don't like it,
weird
but-
note. Speaking of his dad, you can like in the first one, he felt like a dude who's lived his most life out of prison, hasn't been in there for 20 years. Whereas this he
He's
acts like
nuts.
Whereas this he acts like he's been in prison for like what 20 odd years.
Yeah.
It's like he only really knows Barry from like outside the cell now.
And he even tells him, he's like, just get on with your life. You don't need
but it's like
me.
the way he talks to him, it's more like man and like dude,
Yeah.
and like he's more of a dude bro, and I kind of
Yeah.
like that, I guess. Obviously, I don't know anybody in prison. I couldn't speak that whatsoever, but like I like his personality in this one a bit more. He's not just like
Well,
I
he's
need to be emotional dad. I'm emotional dad now.
Yeah, his dad's sort of like trying to just... I don't know, he's just trying to be something for him.
Because he knows that Barry doesn't have many friends, so he's just trying to be a
Yeah.
friend as well as a dad.
Well, yeah, and of course we know that. He even says, I don't have many friends.
friends.
Oh, I was going to say just the Speed Force bit. When he reverses time and stuff. That was when I loved him. When he's talking about to his dad and he's like, I was the best of the best. And I was like, hey, he feels
Obviously, it
like
makes
he's
us
worth
all
it.
want to think Flashpoint, because that's where Zack Snyder really wants to take it. Like,
I just thought it was a cool way of using the powers in a way we've never seen.
I liked how he knew that he could do it, but it's a rule from that he doesn't. Like, he's not just this dude who's immediately discovered. Like, they're just like, no, he knows he can do this.
He's got that moral compass. And on
Yeah,
the
yeah.
topic of that, Aquaman just completely hates everything. And
hates everything and everyone until the specific moments where it connects to him, then he doesn't, and I love
yes,
that.
but he's just the absolute, like, this is a bad decision to bring back Superman. Why does everyone think it's a good idea? And he just goes with it, you know? And I like that he's the completely innocent, non-biased look on it. He
Well,
knows when something's too
I like it
much.
because it's his character, because he's always been on both sides of the story. He's never been like one-sided ever.
Yes.
It's because he's always been Atlantean and human, but he's never been fully both.
Well, he says that with Diana, because she's pretty much like, you're an Atlantean, you
And he's
shouldn't
like-
be friends. And he's like, well, I'm not really. I'm
Yeah.
half and half, you know.
But like both halves don't really accept him anyway.
So he's
It's
like, I can be what I want to be.
Exactly.
That's so good.
But like when things connect to him, so like when Cyborg loses his dad, he feels that. Because like he's lost
Christ,
family before,
yeah,
and he's just sitting there just like, this is unfair, this is not good for him. And like him and Flash are just like those human moments. Well, I'm saying human, that's a bit racist on Atlantean, but like
Absolutely.
those personal moments like stand out for me as like something solid, and we have time to feel them. Our first introduction to Darkseid that we like really like connected its Darkseid is, other than like people who've watched it before, is like when Wonder Woman goes down to the crypt.
Oh
and,
yes, you love that scene.
I love that scene. Gave me chills, man. Obviously we saw it in a trailer before, but like in context, when she's doing the arrows with like some Tomb Raider stuff, and it's just
Yeah, I like the arrow. God, they gave it so much more meaning.
yeah.
It's not just it shoots.
It
And
hasn't
goes,
been lit for thousands of years. Men will not know what it means. She will.
She will. And I liked Steppenwolf. I mean, God, it's night and day.
Yeah.
But you don't like the design.
So right, I like the face, and I like the basically anything the neck down
Looks
is
sad.
like
He looks sad. Please,
his little glossy
take me back.
eyes. Daddy, take me
I can
home.
imagine someone's going to do a really hilarious, like, little chibi thing of him crying.
Oh my. Right, this is such a really specific comment, but like I don't know if you have ever went to the skate park or like scooters and shit, right? It's like
I know what you're talking
the armor color design is like the metal that you just see at like skate parks.
Yeah.
It's like that's a very specific thing for me.
And I'll put a picture on screen. I'm thinking like that kind of thing.
No,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah.
Like
I know what you're
basically,
thinking of.
and I'm just like, but it's like it's the fact that he's like, he fits the aesthetic of the Mother Box way
Yes.
more.
Oh God, yeah.
Like originally he fit more the battle of like he would fit more like the gods in terms of like Zeus and that.
Yeah, he
Like
looks.
in
he looked
Justice League.
Justice League version looked exactly like Ares from
Yeah,
Wonder Woman.
exactly.
Did
Whereas
you notice Ares was in it?
I did.
I was so happy to see him and looking actually good.
And like
He's like a giant.
it's cool to see that version of Ares like in a period of time where he's a part of the gods and like
Yes.
he's still a son. He's not just like
I will destroy.
I will kill man because I like war. I've
this
noticed
stuff
it
was
was cool. It was just like elements like that, just seeing that. Just
Continuity on it, brought it all
100%.
together.
I love how he kept that stash the entire way through his life, though. That's not just a World War One thing. That's like a.
Yeah.
But
That was
no,
the choice.
it's like he fits the Mother Box. He fits like Darkseid. He doesn't fit like them, which
Well,
works
especially
because
the
he's a
whole-
different universe.
The whole apocalypse aesthetic, like, actually looked like Cyborg, so you've
Yes.
got the connection. Whereas in Justice League, you've got no idea that Cyborg's actually from that. You know, when he's meant to be the. That's why I always thought Superman. Like, I don't get why he didn't get any apocalypse bits on him or something. Even just a suit, you know, apocalypse suit. But that's
Maybe.
a nitpick.
But like, no, I like how we saw the extended universe of Apocalypse. We saw Darkseid. We saw Desaad. We saw Granny
Little
Goodness.
Green Lantern man.
We saw a close up of Green Lantern Man, made it very on the nose. Yes, you like Green Lantern. No, there's so many elements to this film, including like the extension to like the dark side and the villains. Like there's so much more to the villains in this thing. It's not just a dude who's just like for Darkseid, and then a few power demons come along. Like you see him talk to Darkseid, you see him like why he's doing this. Not
He
just
just
like,
wants to be back. He's just a lonely guy who wants
he's
to
still
get
just
back to.
he's still a scumbag.
Oh, he's a
Which I love.
terrible
Like he's
person.
still a villain for villain's sake, which but like it gives more layers to that. Like he feels justified in his actions, whereas like he's just a
And I
scumbag.
also kind of like that he doesn't have a personal connection to any of them.
Yeah.
He's just sort of like, you're in my way. I need to get back to Darkseid.
Like he doesn't care for the Justice League. He cares for the Kryptonians and the Lanterns, and like basically the major threats. They're all gone. So he's like, we can do this now, baby.
I love the line. You know the line in the trailer where Alfred's like, "Don't wave the red flag at the bull,"
Yeah.
and then Bruce goes like, "The red flag charges back."
100%.
Like,
Well, now it's black, but like,
yeah, it doesn't really pay off in the end. Like, but
well, no, it does because they knew him with the red flag.
I like Steppenwolf's head coming off, and Darkseid just crushes it like he was nothing to him.
Well, he was like the weird kid, like even that
Exactly.
even the parents didn't like.
He's just happy to be rid of him, really.
So I'm Steppenwolf.
Even Desaad's like, sort of, I told you, like,
Yeah,
why did you give him a chance?
he's like, well, he's the prodigal son, but like they knew the prodigal son would only return for drug money.
Exactly. And last but not least, we should talk about Cyborg. Saved him till last because he's the best character in the movie by like a long mile compared to the Justice League version of him.
Yeah.
He feels like a member of the... like the whole, is he a Teen Titans or is he a Justice League member?
He feels like a member of the Justice League.
He's probably the most powerful as well, because he is the internet. He can control everything. He can manipulate people's lives.
If you're talking in society, yeah, but like genuine power, Superman.
Obviously, yeah. But power isn't always just physical now. And he's that, like, kind of... he changed that woman's life just by giving her extra zeros.
Absolutely,
on the
like
balance.
the whole visualizations of Cyborg going through the internet and like the way he visualized it himself, like putting him in it and like simplifying it for himself.
The reason you even go to see movies is because you want to see like spectacle and like things you've never thought about.
But how does he explain it all to himself as well?
Yeah, like
it's like when he's talking about like the history of the mother box. And like he's walking through like Nazi Germany, but he's like
that shot where he's just casually walking and there's Nazi things behind him.
Like to me, that was such a dope shot. Obviously, we've seen it. Like it looked like he was going through past like traumatic, but this like he is assertive. He's down for what he's doing.
Yeah, like because at first he looks a little bit cautious and he still walks quite robotically when he's like a pantheon or something he goes into.
Until he's sure of who he is, he's always walking hunched over or like he's hiding himself in one way or another. But like when he's starting to lose control, like he hunches over and he's like...
But by the end, he's just completely in control of everything.
That boy knows what he's doing and I love it.
Just honestly, he gave us the best... He gives, I think, the best performance in the movie because he's like actually emoting.
It's the most dramatic performance.
Yes. Especially just when he's in the car with his mum just before she gets killed. It's like... He's actually not afraid to start crying. He's not like, you'd expect him. He's a jock.
He's a jock. But he's a human being. Like there's more to him.
He genuinely loves his dad, and he's like really brought to tears by the fact he couldn't be there to see him. And then he never like forgives him for that.
Like their bond gets closer as they go through, but it's always uneasy. Like it's never just an immediate fix. Like
exactly.
He acknowledges that he's his father eventually, but he's never like.
There's never that moment at the end where he changes his suit and they're going, look, I've got a scene now.
Exactly. Yeah.
He dies not even knowing if his son was listening to him the whole time,
because he sees it as a destroyed like tape.
Yeah.
He never sees
because his dad basically goes like, I know I'm the bad guy, but I'm going to tell you the right thing.
Yes.
You just shut up and listen. Like, I don't care what you think of me. First off, we'll round out a few little things. What did you think of Martian Manhunter?
I don't know why they gave him 2 reveals.
Excellent. What did you think of Jared Leto returning as the Joker?
That was interesting. I liked how he had his SWAT jacket because that was the last time we saw him and now he's got it back.
In Suicide Squad.
Yeah, that was the last time we see him. He's got the SWAT coat. He's a lot more messed. He's a bit more like of every type of Joker.
There's little shakes. I thought he was good. I liked the fact that he had his mouth like punched, so he had blood from that.
Well, yeah, it was more like Joker from Joaquin Phoenix. Like he
was visually and like he was doing something different to, in Suicide Squad he's just trying to be Heath Ledger, but a bit more of a gangster.
Yeah,
but he's not trying to be Joaquin Phoenix here. He's trying to he's trying to.
He's his own character in this one, and like the rapport he has with Bruce, like in this, is insane.
Yes, it's very like Last Night on Earth, that comic book where he's just the head in the jar.
Yeah, they have to be together, but they will kill each other.
Grant Morrison's was a bit just like hates everyone.
Mm-hmm.
He was just nuts, but he had brain damage. Okay, Grant Morrison's a bit nuts.
You want to get nuts?
Why did I
Let's
do this?
get nuts.
What do you think's going to happen in the future of the Zack Snyder?
Obviously, there's now the movement restore the Snyderverse, like that type of thing.
Hashtag it.
Yeah, that's like a thing now. I hope something happens with it because obviously DC is still iffy with Ray Fisher, which is disgusting. They're still trying to like kick him off.
They need to give him something.
And then obviously they're trying to remove Henry Cavill, and I think they pretty much have.
I think they have. I don't think Henry Cavill did enough in this to secure his place.
I don't think he didn't have any reshoots, did he?
No, they couldn't get him back.
No, they say they couldn't get him back.
Okay, no. Do you want to give any final thoughts on?
My final thoughts is that I'm so fucking glad it exists. I'm so surprised we got it this early. I thought it would have been like years in the making.
I thought like 30 years down the line.
I thought it would have been like Blade Runner, like we're taking our kids to see it, just like.
And they're like, the CGI is crap.
It's like, it was back then, it's fine.
The Joss Whedon version, ignore it. Just give this a chance and see if you like it. You might not, because it's still a DC thing.
Because I'm still going to watch Justice League and have a good old laugh at it.
We've done a drinking game to Justice League. I've got to say, it's brilliant in that regard.
Watching you do that is the funniest thing.
We didn't all make it.
I took a lot of people home that night. That was...
Justice League is such a great drinking game movie. Imagine if this was bad enough that...
We had to cut out rules, because there was too many...
We had to stop excluding rules. We didn't make it through Scooby-Doo 2 either. Anyway.
Watch this damn thing. If you don't love it, then that's up to you. But, like, the fact that, like, creators can now have this, and, like, creators have this option, it's beautiful.
I think it's going to be good for the future. We'll see what comes of it. It's started
But
something.
it's bad for my wallet, because I'm going to buy so much relating to this. It's going to be pain. I'm going to look even more homeless than I do now. So maybe in the next video, I'm just going to not be here, because I can't afford to walk here.
That's a sign. Do you know what? I need to get a guest on now, don't I? So you don't show up.
So if I don't turn up, I've been Henry Cavilled.
If you don't see me again, it's because I'm dead. And with that, fuck it. I'm done.
Much love. Bye-bye. Subscribe. Love you.